who knows? And paper. I usually prefer notebook paper, but when you scan it, it has the lines in it, so it's not great. I always first make a square, so fold over the triangle until you line up this part with the other side of the paper, and then fold. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I always cut off the end here. It's easier to get a square. So that way, you open it up, you got a square. And then I always mark where the center is so that when I fold it into thirds, I know where the center is going to be. So I usually just press the bottom part instead of the whole thing so it doesn't include that fold when you're folding it. And then I kind of hold it in the middle and just kind of make it so like these are two arms and you're giving a hug. So hold it in the middle and kind of wrap it around and fold. And then some people fold on top of here. I actually like to flip it over because I feel like you get a flatter plane by doing that. And you just kind of line up the edges. And if it's not perfect the first time, you can kind of adjust them and it won't bother the paper that much. And then I just really get in there with my nails and make sure it's folded nice and flat. And then you can kind of treat this like it's a carrot. And so you follow this line here and cut off the top. Sorry. And then go to the other side and cut off the top there. That way you have got what will turn out to be 6 sections, because snowflakes are usually naturally 6-sided. And also I think it looks prettier that way. Makes it more circular. A lot of people fold it in half from here, but I found that it's so thick then that it's really hard to cut through. So I usually draw my design on this portion. One thing you have to remember is that it has to go from one side to the other so that it doesn't fall off, because if you cut it without going all the way to the other side, it's just going to fall off. So pick a subject.
Flowers.
Flowers, okay. Let's see. Okay, so I got it so it kind of attaches from one side to the other there. So then what you can do to make it a little easier on you is to color in the parts that you want to fall off. So let's start cutting. And I'm just kind of going from side to side, just getting the biggest parts off here. Just getting the outlines. So that whole piece comes off. Don't be afraid if something falls off that shouldn't fall off. That's just how it goes. You'll learn as you go that they all need to connect to each other. Kind of like people. The most important thing is connection. So like right here, I need to have the flower connect to each other, otherwise it's going to fall. So I either have to have this leaf connect to the flower or this part connect to the flower. And since I want this to kind of flow a little better, I'm going to have this connect to each other and then cut in to this part down here. But my favorite part about making a snowflake is opening it up, because to me it feels kind of like that idea when you open a Christmas present and you don't know what's in it. Because even as long as I've been making these, you never quite know how it's going to turn out. So it's always a surprise. Usually a pleasant one when you open it up and have something fun. Let's see. Also, don't get discouraged if it falls apart the first time. That's really common, and you can always make it again. So, we have some flour.